Hi, this is Indu with Working Girl, and today I am setting up the month of October in my bullet journal. So I picked a fall theme, of course, and this is actually a very special month for me because it's my anniversary month. So I wanted to include something special for us in the cover page, and I picked a lake that we have a lot of memories attached to, and we have a lot of pictures with. So it was really cool to be able to recreate some of those. So what I did was I created like a Dutch door setup where it shows, at the beginning of October, it's always just regular green, summer green, and then towards the end of the month it's so colorful, and sometimes some of the leaves are actually gone by then, so it's that transition month, right? So that's what I kind of try to do this month. I wanted to open the doors to the end of the month, where Halloween kind of shows the colors. And so I started off with just doing the green side first. I actually folded these pages and glued them in. And I added the greenery. I used a few colors of green on there just to show, at this time of summer it's starting to change, so it would look a little different. Every tree would look different. And of course I went to this lake and took some pictures and kind of observed before I did it, like the colors, how the lake closer to you is kind of brownish. Like the water's not really pretty blue, it's actually yucky brown. My husband calls it fish poop. So so I tried to kind of mix that in there, and the little grid that you see is actually a pier that we have a lot of memories with. So I tried to do the old, how when wood gets old and kind of waterlogged, it gets a little gray, and that's what I tried to do here to include that part onto it. And there's the bank on the other side. So I open it, and then now I start doing the fall, like the orange leaves inside, and just start off with the water. I honestly could not get the right color for water. I just ended up just doing a regular dark blue because I looked at my pictures, and those pictures have this amazing blue that it's kind of reflecting the sky blue. I could not get that to mix with watercolor. It just did not work for me, but I just did what I could. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because I don't know how much I'm actually going to, look at this. But I realized I've had this for a couple days now, and I am obsessed with opening and closing it because it looks so cool, going from green to orange. I love how it looks. So I am using it more than I thought I would. So yeah, I did the name, the text of October also a little differently. When you open it, and when the leaves are different, then it's Halloween kind of text, but then like with spiders and stuff. But then when it's actually closed, it's flowy and summery kind of looking text. Yeah. So this next part is what I enjoyed the most about this month's theme, and yes, I did stick to a theme this month. I love the fall colors, and I use the Decadent Pie set from, I believe, Art Philosophy. They have some amazing colors to go with. The light orange is actually not from there, or the brightest orange is from a different set, Sakura, I think. But the rest of the colors, I just just put it down and then kind of mixed it in. And I also included some green because that just adds a little bit more depth and some color to it. And I did the darker areas in black. I really did throw down black and mix it in. And what I didn't have in the Decadent Pies was red. And I had to pick red up from that Sakura set. So yeah, I just picked different areas for different colors and just put them in. I did, before I put all the colors down, I did kind of go through and figure out, okay, where are the trees located, instead of just putting the paint down and figuring that out later. I always say I'm not an artist, so I have to have a plan going in. And those little blobs, I had an idea of where the trees were and where the undergrowth was. So I'm actually not showing it in here, but I'm going in later on and adding some branches in there, here and there, just some lines in there, just to show where the trees are. So yeah, I'm actually going to do a similar thing later on, so just skipping ahead. This is my reading and writing page. I also wanted to include a little area for crochet this month because I don't always crochet, but in the fall I do. Fall is kind of like my cue to crochet some hats and coasters and whatnot, because Thanksgiving is coming, So I drew some scarves and yarn, and of course left a space for the book I'm going to be reading this month. So the next page is the garden page. Yes, I made the garden page last time too, and I did not have time to garden last month. It's sad, but life happens and work happens. Work just consumes my day, so I barely have time to do anything. I'm happy that I have time to dedicate to my bullet journal. So yeah, I'm just drawing in some leaves here, just to add some color. So next, in creating the page for the shop, I have an Etsy shop, so I have to plan improvements and all that, and more products. So this is what it is. I didn't want to take up too much space, so I just did a mountain range, and it's Arkansas. I live in Arkansas, so Arkansas hills are all the same height, almost. Like if you look at a scene, almost all the hills are coming up to the same height. So that's what I kind of tried to do. It didn't turn out as good as I hoped because I don't know, I feel like it turned out darker than I wanted it because it was just really fiery and orange. But oh well, I think it looks alright. I'm again trying to just put in the colors from the Decadent Pie set, using the darker brown to add some shading to it. The left side has a darker shade is what I was going for. And one of the things that I noticed was that when I usually paint on Arches paper with the Decadent Pie set, the paint spreads differently, and of course in this journal the paper was absorbing water differently, and I was still trying to get used to it. And it was keeping all the little streaks and things on there. So I wasn't a huge fan of it, but you can't make a journal out of Arches paper. So this was just as good for me. And I'm doing the cooking area. I plan my meals for the month, and I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm doing. I need to do better with the focusing, but I left a little area for planning Thanksgiving because I go overboard with the Thanksgiving planning, so I wanted to get started early. And this page that I'm painting right now, I'm doing a technique called wet on wet. I'm just throwing down a lot of water and just dabbing in little things of paint on it, and letting it mix on its own. I think because I needed the texture for the trees in these hills, and this is still the lake. I'm still drawing the lake. I can't believe I'm sticking to a theme, but I guess so it happens. And this page is actually for writing down what I need to talk to my supervisor about. It's for the whole month, so I kind of try to keep a lot of space available. But that didn't work out too well for me. But I'm just gonna write on the paint where it's light, so that'll be okay. So next I'm doing my habits page, and I'm kind of putting a lot of things together. I made a page for water tracking last time, and I did not track a single day. So I'm trying a different technique, different looking thing than I tried last time, because it's really important that I track my water intake. And I'm doing, so again, wet on wet technique. I'm just putting a circle of water and really lightly grabbing some paint and just spreading it around. And I think it looks really cute. It's the same colors, just in a lighter shade, and it's just different sizes of circles. And I'm really bad with drawing circles, so I'm happy how it turned out. Another thing I'm bad with is drawing these little things. I miscount and make a lot of mistakes. So thankfully, I initially drew them in pencil, and I had to erase them out. So. I'm doing the wet on wet technique again, and because I loved how the habits turned out, I just wanted to dab on little things of paint on there. Same colors, just all over that bar, and I'm going to stamp in the titles on there, and it's for expenses and planning the paycheck. So this month is Inktober, and I've decided to kind of use ink the whole month. I want to participate, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to use my bullet journal as my sketchbook of sorts, and kind of try to draw whatever I'm drawing on that day, depending on the theme, on my journal instead of a sketchbook. So I can have, I don't have to have two different things for the month. I can actually come back and always look at what I did for Inktober. So I'm going to be using my fountain pen to write on the journal this month and then draw whatever I need on each day. So I stamped the little leaves and flowers on there, and I'm just going to do the same thing again because I loved the look of the colors just on the background. The ink didn't actually come off with water, so that turned out great. Well, thanks for sticking with me as I was planning my October journal. It was a lot of fun. It took me around 3 hours to complete all of these pages that I showed you today. And I will be posting on my Instagram what I do for Inktober and how my daily pages are going to look, because they're all going to have different designs and things like that. So if you want to see those, just go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and you can subscribe if you want to see any future videos on YouTube. Thank you.